on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate at 10, powered by Century ProWood and Panasonic.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Vadra Gandhi family has done a lot of things for the country. It has destroyed democracy. It has put democracy, almost guillotined it because Indira Gandhi was going to lose her position as Prime Minister. The Vadra Congress has, in its continuing attempt to bring international fame or notoriety to the country, now ensured that an FATF report now ensured really that internationally money laundering, in cases of money laundering, that the country is not seen to be too far behind. So the latest contribution of the Vadra Gandhi family, ladies and gentlemen, is to something which is now being described as Artgate, which is the fine art of money laundering. How do you launder money? How do you take bribes? How do you take kickbacks? Here's one example. A politician sells a painting and a Congress leader, an ex-minister, allegedly brokers the deal. Who buys the painting? The man who buys the painting, which is a Hussain painting, is allegedly a person called Rana Kapoor. Yes, Rana Kapoor, the same Rana Kapoor of the Yes Bank scam. Rana Kapoor is presently in jail. He's very, very corrupt. You know all what he's done. But after buying the painting for an undisclosed amount from the Vadra Gandhi family and paying all this cash to the Vadra Gandhi family, he in turn, Rana Kapoor, gets a lot of loans sanctioned and gets a lot of other benefits under the then Vadra Congress government. These are the same people who are now going to Cambridge and saying democracy is dead in India. Ladies and gentlemen, the politician who sells the painting is widely guessed to be Priyanka Vadra. Now the question Priyanka Vadra must ask, what is she doing? She is selling a painting to a person who in turn is getting a Padma Bhushan, getting a lot of benefits from the then Vadra Congress government. Does the Vadra Congress really think, or did it think at that time, that it owned the country? When this particular case, which is now being described as Artgate, was first spoken about in the Indian media, the Vadra Congress said that it was a campaign against the good name of the Vadra family. Today the FATF, the same FATF which takes action against Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen, the same Financial Action Task Force which leads global action against money laundering, has referred to this very example. And I have just three questions. Question number one. Did Mrs. Priyanka Vadra sell a Hussain painting to Rana Kapoor? And in the entire country, did Priyanka Vadra find only Rana Kapoor to sell the painting to? How much money did Rana Kapoor give Priyanka Vadra? Question two. After the money was given, after the deal was done, was Rana Kapoor, who is now in jail, given a Padma Bhushan? Was the Padma Bhushan, were the Padma Awards also for sale? And what was Mr. Clean Manmohan Singh doing in all of this? Did he even wince? Or did he look the other way and say compulsions of coalition politics? That's why I say, ladies and gentlemen, Manmohan Singh led one of the most corrupt prime ministerships since independence. Point number three. Who was the ex-Congress minister who made Rana Kapoor buy the painting from the Vadras? Was it Murli Deora? Was Murli Deora, the late Murli Deora, then the petroleum minister of the country? Was he brokering the deal? What was his interest, ladies and gentlemen? In all this system of favors, the only people who benefited in a big way financially was the Vadras, the Vadra Gandhi family. They now say democracy is dead. Ladies and gentlemen, democracy is not dead. it's their treasury chests which are now beginning to empty out. Let's debate.
3 years ago, Rana Kapoor was accused of siphoning off over 5,000 crore rupees through suspicious transactions. Last year, an ED charge sheet quoted Rana Kapoor saying he was forced to buy an M.F. Hussain painting from Priyanka Vadra. Then the Vadra Congress was evasive.
A person who is behind bars for years makes allegations about dead people, and the government is jumping with joy only because it suits their political angle. They want to keep the pot boiling for 2022 regarding a transaction of 2010, when neither Murli Devra is here to deny it, nor Ahmed Patel sadly is here to deny it.
But now, it is not the agencies or the opposition saying expose the art gate, it is the FATF.
In a statement to the Enforcement Directorate, Rana Kapoor admits that there was a meeting in the national capital with former Petroleum Minister Murli Devra where he was forced to buy an M.F. Hussain painting from Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. In fact, he says that he was threatened of dire consequences had he not bought this painting. He also goes on to admit that 2 crore rupees was paid to Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, which was effectively used for the treatment of Sonia Gandhi in New York. Interestingly, this finds a mention in the FATF report that was published in February as a case study of money laundering.
The BJP is demanding answers.
ये मिस्टर आर कौन है जिनके पैसा लेना और पेंटिंग देने का काम किया गया? क्या पैसे के बदले पद्म भूषण? क्या पेंटिंग के बदले पद्म भूषण? ये कांग्रेस का भ्रष्टाचार मॉडल है। आखिर ऐसे कितने और राष्ट्रीय सम्मान पद्म भूषण जैसे आपने बेचे हैं? देश को बेचने का कोई मौका आप लोगों ने नहीं छोड़ा होगा। आज देश नहीं दुनिया आपके भ्रष्टाचार के ऊपर सवाल पूछ रही है।
Vadra Gandhis cannot duck behind the hoax of political vendetta anymore. Let's debate.
Lokesh Jindal and Kamru Chaudhary taking on Sandeep Ghosh and Sanju Verma here. Lokesh Jindal, now you know this is a very interesting case study. Let's discuss it. The money was not for the painting. The money was a bribe, wasn't it? I mean, there's a kind of bribe by Rana Kapoor. Any doubts about it? Any doubt about it? About this being some kind of a kickback, a bribe?
Are you saying this on the basis of a case study that Financial Action Task Force uses to explain money laundering, or a particular possibility or hypothesis
Yes, I am
on
doing
which
it.
it is supposed to?
No, I'm asking you whether you think, in your view, that what the FATF is reporting is referring to is the case of Rana Kapoor being forced to buy a painting for crores of rupees from Priyanka Vadra. Yes.
FATF hasn't even mentioned the names of those involved clearly. It is referring Mr. A and all such forms of terms. So how can you say that it is based upon a substantial finding
because
or
they
evidence?
refer to this is quite clearly a case study about kickbacks, the use of art to pay kickbacks.
Arnab, while explaining money laundering, the various basic possibilities, now FATF is an intergovernmental organization. It lays down policies to combat
You're
money
not getting
laundering.
it. No, 1 minute. You're not getting it. You're not getting it. I don't understand why you're not getting it or whether you're pretending not to get it. Who is the Indian CEO who the FATF is referring to?
I think FATF knows it.
Who are they referring to?
If they are putting up
Who
a
are they
certain
referring
example,
to?
It could be Amit Shah.
Who are they? No, 1 minute. Who is the Indian CEO who the FATF is referring to? I say it's Rana Kapoor. Who do you think it is?
There are various CEOs with A as their name in front of them. Why are you drawing these
No, which
parallels?
CEO? Okay, so I'm asking you, which CEO? So, Sandeep, which CEO of
I
an
think
Indian bank?
Financial Action Task
Which
Force knows it
CEO
better.
of an Indian bank was the Financial Action Task Force referring to? Who is the close relative of a member of the ruling political party that the FATF is reporting to?
It could be Adani.
Okay, so let's say Adani.
Oh
okay?
my God,
1 minute. You're
please.
saying Adani, then you'll have to prove. You have to then
May I come
prove.
in or not?
No, 1 sec. Then you have to then prove, Sandeep goes by the following. Did Mr. Adani at that point of time buy a painting from the member of the then ruling party? Give me the proof, we'll talk. But you don't have a
Arnab,
proof. You're looking embarrassed.
Yeah.
Sandeep is on the debate.
No,
Sandeep.
Arnab, I'm speaking not as any political commentator or any supporter. I'm speaking of a chartered accountant of now 40 years standing, who I've forgotten. Now, these kind of things like selling a painting to launder money or crowdfunding, these are as old as, history in the books. We know of other states, other politicians who have sold some very, very questionable paintings and earned crores of rupees. And there are these so-called industrialists who are asked to oblige there to convert this thing. Now, per se, the 2 crore, I think, for somebody like Rana Kapoor is pittance. So there has to be a much larger payoff or trade-off which is there, including the Padma Bhushan. I don't see why a Rana Kapoor should deserve a Padma Bhushan.
Yeah,
and to
that's a
that
good
extent,
point.
Anna, pardon my saying so, I would also question many of your peers and compatriots. Why did they build up Rana Kapoor to such a pedestal as a beacon of Indian entrepreneurism, etc.? If somebody was a basic, homework they would have done, they knew what Rana Kapoor was running. You build him up to that extent, to the extent that he can get a Padma Bhushan or Padma, I don't know what he got. So these are all part of it. But what Congress must realize in this, you cannot live in glass houses and throw stones at others. And then you get it back. And this becomes, therefore, when the chickens come home to roost. And this is really a time of reckoning. They
So
have got away with
it's
this
various
so
issues
many
here.
years.
No, are you saying, so this becomes a case of bribing for the Padma Bhushan? And
Whatever,
viewers, I think
there has to be
democracy
a
died when
protocol.
Rana Kapoor was given a Padma Bhushan.
Board.
It's very clear. The mention of
long ago.
Yeah. So the mention of bribing for a Padma Bhushan is not a coincidence. I want to quote here, Sanju. It is written in this deal, quote unquote, a bribe to influence the awarding of the prestigious Indian award, the Padma Bhushan, for himself. How shameful that a global body is saying that in the Congress time, Padma Bhushans were being sold by allegedly giving payoffs to members of the ruling family in the name of art deals. Sanju.
And about one small interjection before
Sanju.
Sanju comes in. See, just 1 second. 2 crores is not that kind of money. 2 crores is only done to legitimize certain money in white. Because if you have to show today you don't have that money to pay off, you need some source
Well,
of
the point
income
is not
to
that.
declare. No, I'm saying, so therefore that is the bigger quid pro quo. Otherwise, 2 crores is a pittance for anybody, either the recipient or the donor.
Yeah, I mean, this is corruption of another level. I mean, Sanju is on the debate here, ladies and gentlemen. This is now being spoken about as art gate, the art of kickback. Sanju.
Thank you, Arnab. Nice to see you back on 10 p.m. Debate. I just want to say a couple of things. The written word, I think, is a smoking screen and incontrovertible proof that दूध का दूध हो गया है और पानी का पानी हो गया है. There is a letter dated 4th June 2010 signed off from Priyanka Vadra, and it is addressed to Rana Kapoor, where she clearly says, "Dear Shri Kapoor, thank you for purchasing the portrait of my father, Shri Rajiv Gandhi, painted by Shri M.F. Hussain, which was presented to him in 1985 at the Congress Party's centenary celebrations and is presently in my ownership and possession. I acknowledge receipt of your letter dated June 3rd, 2010, as well as your payment by check number 135343, dated 3rd June 2010, drawn on your HSBC account number 0193848900006 in the amount of rupees 2 crores, representing the full and final payment towards subject painting. I trust you are aware of the historical value of this work. and will ensure its placement in
Can you
an
tell me the
environment
date of that
befits
letter, which
its
sounds like?
its stature.
Can you tell me the date of the letter, which sounds eerily like a letter written by Queen Victoria?
The letter is dated June 4th, and in this she is referring to a letter dated June 3rd, and she is thanking him that as per Rana Kapoor's letter dated June 3rd,
so
she has
June
received
3rd,
2 crores.
are you confirmed the year June 3rd, 2010 via HSBC
And June
she
4th,
receives the money?
2010. These are the 2 important
Okay.
dates.
Now-
June 3rd, 2010, June 4th, 2010.
Now-
She's written a letter to Rana Kapoor.
Now, I want
thanking him
to-
for receiving 2 crores.
Yeah, and now the question goes, I have with me a press release where the story gets very murky, Sandeep. Press release comes out on 8th June, within 5 days of Priyanka Vadra receiving the payment via HSBC to her personal account, of which there is documentary proof. 91 new branch licenses are cleared for Yes Bank. Within 5 days, there's a press release. Kamru Chaudhary, did democracy die then? What were you doing at that point of time? Saving democracy? Was Rana Kapoor trying to save, putting money in the Save Democracy,
Just give me
Save Democracy campaign?
I hope you are maintaining the democracy. Just permit me 2 minutes of your precious time. After that, I will not ask for even a second. First and foremost, without casting any aspersion to the FATF report, which reports very correctly against the counter-terrorist financing and the anti-money laundering. Page number 22 of the report. Page number 22, item number 59, box 7, which you are quoting. I am just showing it for the benefit of the viewers. The source is India. Source is India. It's an intergovernmental agency in which this case study was presented by the Indian investigating agencies to FATF. Now let me finish, please. I asked for 2 minutes, please. I am not finished yet. In the report it says, and I read, however, the investigation revealed that this was an overvaluation and that the price paid was not for art, but rather was a bribe to influence the awarding of the prestigious Indian award
What is this man
Padma
talking
Bhushan
about
for
now? He's
himself.
going in
Now may I
circles.
ask all the
He's
esteemed panelists
contradicting
out here,
himself.
when did
Kamru
Rana
Zaman
Kapoor
Chaudhary
get
is
the Padma
contradicting
Bhushan
himself.
award?
He's
When was
incoherent. He's making
Padma
zero
Bhushan
sense on your
award
debate.
awarded to Rana Kapoor?
This man
Yes
has
or
zero
no?
logic, zero
First
facts.
case. Now please,
Kamru Zaman
please, madam,
Chaudhary
please,
is
madam.
making a fool of
I did
himself
not
on national
interrupt. I did
television
not interrupt.
with
Let
zero
me finish
logic,
my
zero
point,
facts,
please.
zero arguments.
Let me finish.
He's
Don't
going
get
around in
rattled.
circles.
I
Please stop
know
making
you
a
are in
fool of yourself
majority. You
on
will
national
not let
television.
us speak in the
Let me come in
parliament.
now
You
with
will not
facts.
let us
I
speak on
speak
the
with
street.
data. I
You will
speak
not
with
let us
facts.
speak anywhere.
It has been 1 minute, Sanju. Kamru, it has been reported. Kamru, it has been reported. Kamru, it has been, Sanju, 1 minute. 1 minute, Sanju. Kamru, it has been reported that the sale was facilitated by then senior Congress leader, the late Murli Deora. Okay, it was reported. And it was also
Murli
said
Deora.
that after,
Murli Deora,
please
he's
allow
no
me to
more.
complete, please don't speak over me, that after the purchase happened and the payment was made, and Rana Kapoor, being a smart businessman, got Priyanka to put it in writing. You see, Sandeep, he's a shrewd fellow. He's given the money, but he's got documentary evidence. I paid the money via this check, via this date, and it
No,
is given.
Arnab, my question
No,
is,
1
when
minute,
did
please
Rana Kapoor
allow me.
get the Padma
Allow me,
Bhushan
please.
award?
Allow me, please. Allow me.
No, you cannot spare. You cannot
I
just
can do
spread
it.
lies on national television.
Listen to me.
Thousands, millions
Why
are watching your television show.
why was Rana Kapoor given a Padma Bhushan, not even a Padma Shri? I know many Hafiz Saeed supported journalists who've been given a Padma Shri. Now,
No, when
I
did
want to ask
when
you,
did
why was Rana
get the
Kapoor given a Padma Bhushan?
When did Rana Kapoor get the Padma Bhushan?
Why was he given the Padma
Arnab,
Bhushan?
When did he get it?
To extract logic out of a person who's a
When did he
Congress
get it? That's a
retainer,
lie.
Asami Darbari.
He never got the Padma Bhushan.
A Congress family
But it was
retainer
reported that he would be
will never
duly
come out
considered.
with
The Padma Bhushan, that
No,
is
no,
the
that he was
biggest
being
lie
considered.
gibberish,
being spread by
and
the
that is all that
BJP.
he's good at.
Why was he being considered for a Padma
No.
Bhushan?
Arnab and the people like Sanjeev Verma, You must tell on national television
Oh
when was
my
Rana
God.
Kapoor awarded the Padma
It has
Bhushan.
been 1 minute.
That's the biggest
One minute,
lie of the
one
top
minute,
order that you are
1 minute,
against
one-
the Congress party.
1
You
minute.
are making
Now I
a
need
fool
to
of
you
yourself
1
on
minute,
national
just one,
television.
just 1 minute. You see, Rana Kapoor has in a written statement.
2 crore was
Can you
given,
stop
that
it?
was
Can you know?
given by check, all accounted for in
Kamru, you
the
got to
books of
stop. Then I'll
account.
speak. Right? Don't do this. Don't do this. I'm back. Okay, just chill. If you had too much fun at 10 o'clock till recently, I'm back. Okay, so just calm down. Fact of the matter is, Rana Kapoor has written a statement,
back.
given a
But
statement to
please
the
don't
Enforcement
spread lies.
Directorate that he was forced to buy the painting from Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, and he was told that if I buy the painting, good things will happen to me, including being considered for the Padma Awards. Now chill, got the understanding? He said it. Why is he saying it?
No, that's what you didn't say. You said he was awarded the Padma Bhushan.
Oh, for God's sake, have you read the...
I challenge you.
Now you know...
I challenge Sanju
Okay.
Verma also.
Now anyway, you're
Please
happy
tell me
about
the
this?
date when
Okay.
Padma
What
Bhushan was
national
awarded to
interest
Rana
did this payment by
Kapoor.
Rana
No,
Kapoor
you
serve?
apologize. You have to apologize on national
Oh my
television
God,
today.
Kamru Zaman,
That
please
we
hold your
spread a
horses.
lie
I am
that
not going to
Padma Bhushan was
apologize to
awarded
you.
Rana Kapoor.
Stop hallucinating.
Sanju
Who the hell
Verma
are you?
should spread-
Who the hell
should
are you?
tell-
You're not even an official spokesperson of the Congress. Stop hallucinating, Kamru
Who the
Zaman.
hell are
The fact
you?
is that
Who the
Priyanka
hell are you?
Vadra
Spreading
received
lies.
2 crore
Spreading
rupees.
lies. You
The
tell
fact
Rana
is
Kapoor got the
that there
Padma
was an
Bhushan.
angle of
When
money
did he get the
laundering.
Padma
And
Bhushan?
it is not Sanju Verma. It is the
Sanju, louder,
Financial
please.
Action
Come
Task Force which has made this allegation about Priyanka Vadra. Or not, you have to moderate this scumbag. You have to moderate this
Words come back.
scumbag.
That's not right. That's
You
not
tell
right.
that, okay,
You can
you
call.
have to moderate
You
this
can
scumbag.
question him. Don't call him a scumbag.
You
Please
have
don't do
to
this.
tell when was Sanju Verma.
No, because you don't moderate the debate.
No, but you
when the
can't call him a
other side is speaking.
scumbag. That's extreme, man.
You don't moderate the debate.
No,
when
but
the
don't call him a
talks.
scumbag. You know, that's not necessary.
I will.
No,
I
you
will.
should-
I
you shouldn't
will.
call anyone a scumbag.
I will. I will repeat it a zillion times. This guy is a
I
scumbag.
cannot stoop so low.
Now let me come in, Arnab
I
Goswami,
cannot-
because I did not
Sanju.
heckle him.
Don't care
This
the
man has
Sanju.
a habit of
Now
heckling
your
people
caller tell
when
me
he
when
cannot
you
digest the
get
truth.
the
And I want to lay bare some facts. Can I speak?
When was Padma
Or
Bhushan?
Yeah,
this
yeah.
scumbag will continue.
You tell me
Please
just
moderate
one
the debate.
statement.
Can I finish?
Sanju
No,
Can I
Sanju
finish?
Verma, you cannot
Term
spread
like
lies.
this on a debate.
And once you are
Or
not,
not,
you are termed
either you moderate the debate or you don't get the BJP on your shows. Because
1
you
minute,
have no
please. Lokesh, 1 minute.
control over these
Lokesh and
scumbags.
Sanju. Calm down, everyone.
Don't
Kamru,
threaten-
No,
Kamru.
don't ask me to
Kamru,
calm
calm
down. Let
down.
me speak.
Kamru, calm down. Calm down, Kamru. Calm down.
Thank you. May I speak now?
No, Arnab, first Ms. Sanju would have to apologize to Mr.
Arnab,
Kamru.
can I please finish?
Mr. Kamru is very senior and she has no right to
No, he could be
ridicule
senior, I
or
don't
go
care.
panelist like
I
this.
don't care.
No, madam, please.
Kamru
Let us
Zaman
maintain
is a habitual
basic decorum.
offender.
No,
He
no,
abuses
madam.
the Prime
We
Minister.
are not having a
He
debate on her
abuses the
scumbag
ruling
comment.
dispensation.
We won't
I
debate the
don't care
scumbag
if
comment
it's
right now.
about Kamru
I've made my
Zaman.
position clear on her scumbag comment. We are moving on right now, Lokesh. Yeah, Lokesh.
May I come in now?
Arnab, what happens is you give a license to Sanju Verma.
No, I have said that I have
Whatever she
dissociated
wants.
from that comment. Can we continue, please? Thank you.
May I finish?
Can we continue, Lokesh? Go to the substantive issue, no, please.
May I come in?
Yeah.
Arnab, let me finish
Yeah.
my argument.
Yeah,
Can I finish?
yeah.
Thank you. First and foremost, the Financial Action Task Force, which has made a case study out of the illegal proceeds received by Priyanka Vadra from a disgraced banker called Rana Kapoor, who's serving jail time in a more than
Madam, how is
5,000
it
crore
illegal?
money laundering case,
payment
is
was made
something
by a
that the
check. How is
Congress
it
should
illegal?
apologize for.
How is it illegal? How is it
Let me
illegal?
tell you, Financial
On what
Action
basis
Task
is it
Force
illegal?
is not a
what
handmaiden
basis
of
is
the
it
Modi
illegal?
government. Financial
please
Action
tell me,
Task Force
on
is
what
an
basis is it
intergovernment
illegal?
body set
Was
up
it
in
with an
July
accounting money?
1989. It is an independent institution. It has said that illicit trade in artwork is one of the biggest
tell me one
methods to
thing.
launder
On
money.
what basis
And your
is
Priyanka
it
Vadra, I
illegal?
congratulate
Was it
her
done by
for
a
laundering
cash?
money
Was it done
to
by
the
a
tune
cash?
of 2 crore
Was it
by
done
way
by a
of an
cash?
illegal receipt
Which shell
of 2
company was
crores
formed?
which she
Which Hawala
received for a
transaction was
painting
done?
No, one second,
from
one
Which tax
disgraced
Just one
banker
point,
Rana Kapoor.
Sanju, Lokesh, 1 minute. You see, Lokesh, you are arguing technically. Now, I'll tell you, what did Sandeep begin by saying? You are saying, is it illegal to buy a painting for 2 crore rupees? Answer is, it's not. But you know, the basic of ethics in public life is the principle of decency, propriety, and avoiding conflict of interest. You can't take with hand and give from another. 1 minute, please. 1 minute. Can I complete, please? Can I complete, please? Can I complete, please? You see this attempted dissociation, which was very convenient for people who are double-faced, like Dr. Manmohan Singh, is the fact that, I'm a decent man, everything's fine, I'm doing my stuff. So what if little bit of stuff is happening on the side? Rehne do, hone do. That's the whole approach. So government's legislation cannot, if you say to me that if this is a favor, if there is money being taken, for example, is Priyanka Vadra or the Vadra family not aware, Sandeep, that if they're taking money from someone like Rana Kapoor and the government is then, through a seemingly separate process, giving great, it may not be favors, but doing great benefits for the company owned by the person who's giving the money to Priyanka Vadra, then you have to be a kindergarten student not to see the link. It's absolutely clear. What are you arguing legally about this? No. Sandeep. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you, there is big news while this is happening coming in from America, Sandeep, because shares of dozens of regional American banks have been slumping. Exactly. There is some huge crisis that is building up. There's a total meltdown in the US markets. Bank after bank is reporting that it's collapsing. I have just got the details. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just dropping for a bit. First Republic Bank shares dropped by 67%, trading halted in dozens of American banks, shares slump, collapse of Silicon Valley banks, Western Alliance Bancorp, First Republican Banks, Zions Bancorp down 44%, Bank of Hawaii 42%. This crisis, total crisis, they're like Lehman Brothers all over again in the American banking system. Sandeep, back to the point.
You should.
Back to the point.
Arnab, you should cut across to Raghuram Rajan just now. I think this debate is becoming irrelevant. Raghuram Rajan should be brought in to discuss on the... Now, coming back, Lokesh, do you have any idea how much per square feet painting of MF Hussain costs? You have any idea today in the art market?
It is about 70-80 crores. I've heard that MF Hussein's paintings have costed crores of rupees. You please come to the point, sir.
Yeah. So therefore, why? What is the kind of trade-off which is happening out there? It's not just 2 crore. If there is somebody, if the income tax probes, even that is a matter of probe. The reason why a receipt is being given is because you're trying to legitimize whatever money you have received. These are age-old tricks. I would have expected people to have more innovative, financial consultants or accountants to give them a better way of camouflaging these things. But the point is, those days, people didn't bother. People thought anything is done, everything is kosher, we can do. Life goes on, and as Arnab says, I recall a very left-wing person writing that Manmohan Singh, if there is a little bit of corruption, he's doing a big deal he's doing the country a great favor.
So sir, I understand what you are saying, but was there any form of hawala transaction, money laundering? In fact, there is ED. There is
maybe early days.
Has ED filed any case?
Don't speak too early.
Was there any money trail? Was there any money trail?
Was there any money trail? Too early. Don't speak too early.
In fact, ED is theirs. So has ED filed any case?
But tomorrow,
has
if
ED
tomorrow
come up with certain form of a money trail?
If ED does that tomorrow, don't go and say this is political vendetta, this is people are taking this thing. Okay?
ED has substantial proof for it.
No, they have not done as yet. If tomorrow they do, please don't come back. Arnab will record this portion. Don't come back and tell him ED is now running after...
No. 1 minute.
Listen, when I'm talking about money laundering, it involves some form of complex methodologies whereby fake accounts are maintained, some form of trail is done, money is parked somewhere else, as has been claimed by Hindenburg report in the Adani case. And they have come up with substantial proof with name of entities and companies. But over here, when there is nothing on record, the ED says that there has been some...
Arnab, now can I please come in?
It's on record.
Where it came up with...
The point is, it is on record.
It came with...
May I please make a pertinent point,
To the contrary, the point is it's on record. I'll take one comment because viewers, big breaking story on what's happening with the American banking system at the opening of this week.
Sanju. For a bit, please. Arnab, since Lokesh spoke about the Hindenburg report, I think Sandeep Ghosh made some very interesting points, and I just want to tell Lokesh, because I think Lokesh is a pretty intelligent guy, and it's not as if he's not aware of facts, whatever his compulsions may be to come and lie on national television. Till 72 hours back, Hindenburg was actually clapping and cheering for Silicon Valley Bank, which is one of the biggest disasters in American banking history after the 2008 Lehman Bank crisis. So Hindenburg has zero credibility today. And I just want to say one more thing. In the last 72 hours, 4 American banks, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, and Bank of America. Do you know how much money they have lost, all the 4 put together? $52 billion, and this is only growing. So all I want to say is, please stop quoting Hindenburg. Hindenburg could not predict the disaster
right now,
of Silicon Valley Bank.
I just want to go straight to the breaking story on this right now. In fact, for me, the next 15 minutes reflects the bigger story about the strength, the inherent strength of the Indian economic and banking system, where there were so many concerted attempts to say post-Adani, the Indian system is going to collapse, and the inherent strength that it was so resilient that despite 100 billion being wiped off the Adani's wealth, the Indian system, the Indian banking system, the Indian economic system, it was not even a wrinkle for us. Now, what's the big story from the United States right now? We have an absolute banking emergency that has happened in the United States. And I'll just tell you what I know right now, and I'm getting some experts lined in on this, because after the Silicon Valley Bank experienced the largest failure of a financial institution since Washington Mutual during the height of the financial crisis more than a decade ago, we have today a very developing story coming in from America. And the developing story is that trading has been halted at 30 banks. At 30 banks as the market has opened. Bank stocks have nosedived at the New York Stock Exchange. To put it in perspective, Ajay Bagga joining us right now. And Ajay, without doubt, is one of the best and most respected macroeconomic voices, understand the banking system like the back of his hand. Ajay, we are being told this is the worst day since Ukraine. Since Ukraine, European markets has been closing sharply lower following the liquidation of this Silicon Valley Bank. For a lay Indian audience, what would you say? What's going on in America right now? Is this Lehman Brothers crisis all over again in a different way?
Hopefully not, Arnab, because the lessons of 2008 have been learnt. And this time around, the bank balance sheets don't have the garbage that they had in 2008. But what is happening right now, what Sanju was referring to earlier, and with Sanju there you have a resident expert already. So I will go on with her permission. But Arnab, what happened overall in the US this time around is that since 2008, rates were kept down, lot of money was printed, banks' risk management was diluted. In 2018, in a bipartisan move, any bank with assets less than $250 billion was taken off the very strong regulatory regime, which used to be at 50 billion. They used to have a very strict set of conditions for banks. This was removed in 2018. And now the chickens are coming home to roost. What is happening is, in a couple of banks have been declared bankrupt, and there was a bank run on one of these, Silicon Valley Bank, which was a bank catering to the technology startups.
But why did my simple question, Ajay, where is Hindenburg now? Where are the groups like Hindenburg which sorted?
There is no Hindenburg, there is no Raghuram Rajan coming and telling the US regulators that you messed up, that you on purpose, you lowered the standards of regulation. I have not seen any one peep out of Raghuram Rajan, who keeps telling us. And you compare this with RBI, Arnab. I'll give you some very shocking numbers.
Fantastic.
If you see the balance sheet of all the US banks put together, it's very easy to start a bank. You and I can go to a US state and buy a bank. Unlike India, where it's a huge process, and normally they will not give it to individuals or corporates. More than 6,000 banks
Can I
are
get the
not very
breaking
well
grid in the middle? Guess on
regulated.
both
The
sides,
top
please.
25 are regulated very strongly, but the 15th biggest bank just went bankrupt on Friday.
No, is this going to be domino right now? I mean, if you are looking at this right now, is this going to continue to domino? I don't think it's going to go away.
It's not going away for a very simple reason. What the US government announced last night, on Sunday night in the US, the relief measures, basically they are making the depositors safe. So they are saying all deposits are safe, you will get your money back, which was a big relief. But all stock owners and bond owners will go to zero.
Okay,
so today,
Sushil Kedia.
Arnav, if you were owning any bank stock in the US, you would be selling, because it's become very binary. It depends on the government whether that bank will survive or not.
Till recently,
so if there is a run. So that is what's happening to the regional banks.
Till recently, you know, Ajay, there was a whole group out there which kept saying that we need to learn from America. We need to learn from the US. Look at their system. They used to say, Sushil, it's so fantastic. And look here, even Hindenburg can expose the Indian system. They are all quiet right now. They're not talking as this meltdown is happening. Not one word, not one word.
This bank was on the cover page, Arnav, as a fantastic bank 3 days back. This bank was on Forbes and Fortune cover page. I'll send you that.
And Forbes takes a very strong position on the Adani case. Not one word about the American case from them. They don't have the guts to question them. Can I get Sushil Kedia on the left, please? Keep the breaking grids in the middle. Sushil, yeah.
Arnav,
6 minutes, yeah.
While it's natural for us Indians to feel very peeved at this apparently hypocritic behavior, at the core of the SVB failure is the typical asset liability mismanagement in any bank. And the way SVB had structured its business, any other bank in the world, howsoever healthy or unhealthy, is bound to collapse. See, what happens is when your assets are parked in unsaleable, marked for investment, long-term duration securities, otherwise, the tax write-off on them or the mark-to-market losses will wipe you out. But your liabilities that you are accumulating from depositors. In the case of SVB, it was typically the Silicon Valley startups and larger organizations. It was not a bank with very small deposits from very large number of people. So any bank that has got concentrated sources of liabilities, the risk coalesces in them. So it's very funny, at least in this sense, they were rated by Forbes as one of the best banks. A bank balance sheet with this kind of a structural risk should not have been rated that way.
No, where was Bloomberg? Where was Forbes? Where was Washington Post on all of them? Not at all there. But PK, will this have any impact on our system? In a globally connected world, will there be a sentimental impact, or will this not touch us at all?
I mean, in terms of sentiment, there will obviously be contagion around the world. But our banking system is fundamentally sound. It doesn't have these sorts of features. And also, I think the major problem in the US has been that the Fed, if you remember, the US central bank, the Fed, was saying throughout the year 2021 that they were not going to raise interest rates at all in 2022 and 2023. SVB, for instance, operated on the belief that this promise was true.
I lost your video there. I'm going to come back to you. You see, my question right now is more elementary. The same Hindenburg research that was Ajay putting out a 98-page report on Adani could not detect what was going on with SVB and other banks right under its nose?
Absolutely,
right under its nose. How is the same Ajay? It's the same Hindenburg report which is talking about Adani being the end of India. How did they miss seeing the books of the Silicon Valley Bank in their own country?
Very simple.
I want to jump into the jive here.
Ajay,
RBI allows Arnav only 20% of the bank's holdings in what we call hold to maturity. These banks were running 80% exposure. Hold to maturity. If you put the entire US banking system today, there is an unrealized loss of $620 billion.
which proves in a way
which they don't take in
No, which
accounting
proves in a
because-
way. No. See, my question here is, and Ghanshyam is coming in now. We get the politics also on this. You see, where are those who try to do hit jobs on the Indian economy and talk about how those woke financial institutions that had opened their doors to taking deposits of crypto assets, they are now collapsing like a pack of cards? Where is the Hindenburg report on this?
Very true.
Where is the Hindenburg
good
report on this? I mean, where is the report? Nothing.
Arnav,
So, you know, the moral of
actually-
the story is, Ghanshyam, for you, don't accept anything
see,
that
now,
comes in
there
from
is-
the
I
West
think there
Coast
should
or
be
the
no
East
doubt
Coast at
about
face
that.
value. You understand? Now understand the resilience of the Indian system that you were undermining? See what's happening in
Arnav,
America.
Good evening.
Arnav, actually-
Yes, Ghanshyam.
If there is
Arnav,
anyone
actually,
undermining
Hindenburg
the
is a
resilience of the
Ghanshyam
Indian
first,
system, it is
Ghanshyam,
the
Ghanshyam.
BJP. If there is anyone undermining the resilience of the Indian system, it is the BJP that is hell-bent
Ajay, Sanju, and
on keeping the Narendra Adani alliance alive and kicking.
No, come to the
As far as
point,
what is
yaar. You
happening
see what's happening in
US with
America.
respect
Come on
to
now.
banks.
Let him complete,
Yeah,
Sanju, before you come in. Yeah.
With respect to what is happening in US, this is completely a banking system that is getting shattered by the unexpected and continuous move by the Fed to raise the interest
No,
rate.
how did Hindenburg and the Hindenburg likes,
I need to make a
Forbes,
point.
Bloomberg not see this coming? Come on now.
Well,
I come in?
if you are asking about Hindenburg, the question is why did you not see the link between Narendra Modi and Gautam Adani?
Come on. You're having a meltdown.
Arnav,
Sanju is on the debate, ladies and gentlemen. Sanju.
You don't allow the BJP to speak. People come here, make reckless allegations, and you just allow a free run to everybody. Do people even know the definition of capital adequacy ratio? I challenge Ghanshyam to tell me what is the definition of capital adequacy ratio. Can you tell me what is the capital adequacy ratio of State Bank of India, India's largest public sector bank?
Tell me the definition.
Can you tell me the capital adequacy ratio of State Bank of India? Because capital adequacy ratio tells you the efficiency of a bank. It tells you how safe a bank is. And do you know, compared
I'll keep
to
it simple.
the capital adequacy
Sanju.
ratio of 4 to 5% for international banks, SBI's capital adequacy ratio is close to 1
Sanju, I'll tell you.
15%.
Sanju, okay, 1 minute, please.
SBI's
Just 1 minute,
capital
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. I want to make the most of the time that we have right now, and you are seeing a lot of, you know, thousands and millions of Americans standing outside banks right now. Real panic is hitting America. The situation is really bad. Large banks in America have collapsed. The US government agencies are taking emergency measures to backstop the financial system. The US President Joe Biden is telling Americans, don't worry, you're going to get your money. And I just want one word. Ajay Bagga is only asking for one word from Raghuram Rajan. For God's sake, Raghuram Rajan should come out of hiding and, if required, compromise his tenured professorship in an American university and learn to speak up. Because all I will say is, despite Raghuram Rajan, the Indian banking system is so strong. But my only question is tonight this. My question is, PK is now beginning to smile. My question is, they kept telling us our system is bad, you're pro-Russian, you're bad, you're the bad guys, we are the good guys. We are the wonderful people. We have a system. You don't have a system. India doesn't have a system. Adani is representative of the rot in the Indian system. Sanju, 1 minute. And here you are. America is melting.
You made your debate.
Sanju, 1 minute, please. 1 minute, please. America is melting right before our eyes. Right before our eyes. You're seeing this, PK. It's very serious. You've got a strong strength of the Indian economy.
I think it's important to also understand that the Adani situation is steadily getting better. There's been a substantial, a very prominent fund manager from Australia who has shored up the Adani Group with a substantial investment of smart money. Smart money has gone.
Why are you defending Gautam? The parliament in India, I don't know which country you are living in, but the parliament in India is demanding a JPC. You have no ground to defend Gautam Adani unless you are a
fraud in
spokesperson.
history, as Hindenburg said. Adani is turning out to be
Are you Gautam Adani's spokesperson?
a relatively stellar performer when compared to the US banking system. So it's important to make this contrast. There was a little bit of a weak link in terms of valuations. Valuations for the Adani Group were excessive, but it is a fundamentally strong business. It has substantial cash flows.
But this is not. Don't make a pitch for Adani. Adani have got a lot of corporate governance issues. My question is not about Adani. My question is more fundamentally. And right now I'll have Sandeep and Sanju on one side. 1 minute, Sanju. I will have Ghansham and Kamru on the other. The question simply is, they said the Indian system was rotten under the Prime Ministership of Narendra Modi, and Adani is a reflection of that. Today these people, their jaws have dropped and hit the ground, Sushil, as they're seeing what's happening in America. And not one word from them, not one word. They won't even speak, Sushil.
Do you want us to shine and smile on the misery of
people? I want to make a small intervention or not. Can I please?
This is not fair on our part, because people are losing money in the US market. They have lost money in Indian market also.
You turn your debates into...
Wait, Sanju, let's get others also in. I'm going to come to you.
Wait, Sanju.
No, because I've got to get the other point of view, Sanju. Now, you can't get angry when you hear the other point of view. Sanju, I know how to moderate debates quite well. Thank you very much. My only question here is, 1 minute, Sanju. Sanju, listen. Please understand. Don't teach me how to moderate, Sanju. Don't teach me how to moderate. Please, as a panelist, please hear the other side and learn please learn, first of all, to listen to the other side. You may think you know the most about the banking system, but there may be people with the contrary view. Even if their views don't agree with yours, you have to listen to them. You got to listen to them and then...
The banking industry functions, so stop lecturing me.
Well, let me tell you, Sanju, if you want to show me disrespect, I'm not going to return very kindly on that. But the question is, there is a very strong point which I'm making here, and I don't need to be lectured by you. Kamru was making a point, and even if I disagree with him, I'll listen to him. Thank you very much. Kamru, that's your choice. You don't keep making subjective views on what kind of debate it is.
Thank you, Arnab, for giving that time. Basically, my point is that people in America are losing their deposits out there. We as a nation, as a financial power that we ought to be, should in fact try to rescue the world economy, because US ripple effect on Indian banking system, on the Indian stock market will be too hard for us. For one example, let me quote you. The share price of HDFC Bank Limited, after one of the best results that HDFC Bank has provided us,
I now need to come in
came down by 130 rupees.
No, but you're not. One minute. Kamru, you're seeing a rout in the American system. Thank you, Kamru. I heard you. Now, Sanju, I'm going to get Sanju in, get Sandeep in. Viewers, interesting debate. Thank you very much. 1 minute. Sanju, make your point. Make it brief. Thank you.
Yes, I'm making my point and I will take a minute. First and foremost, thank you, Ajay Bagga, for your kind words. I just have this to say. I think let's be very, very clear that the Indian banking system is protected because we have a cash reserve ratio of 4.5%. We have a liquidity ratio of 4%. And we have a statutory liquidity ratio of 1,818%. Which means that our banks, suppose they collect 100 rupees, they can only lend about 70 to 75 rupees because the balance 25 or 30 rupees is protected by way of a CRR, by way of LR and by way of a SLR. Whereas in the United States, you do not have the concept of a CRR, you do not have the concept of a SLR, you do not have the concept of a LR. And that is precisely the reason you will never see an Indian bank like SBI going.
So I got your point. Now, since you mentioned Ajay, I'd like to go to him. 1 minute. So Ajay, the point, I'm broad basing the debate. I want you and Sandeep to come in right now. Today, what I'm seeing is that whether you call them, okay, some people are saying these are not the biggest banks, but there are a lot of banks, and they're collapsing like a house of cards. Now, American rags say, how come the 100 billion loss of Adani did not even touch the Indian markets or the Indian economy? That was the commentary. So the Americans are themselves very, very surprised that the Adani was not even a factor at how we bounced back. Now, let's contrast that to what is happening in America. You can talk about structural deficiencies, problems in the system, etc. But doesn't it show that the American system is far more vulnerable?
Absolutely. And especially on the regulatory side, Arnav, the 2008 lessons have not been learnt. While for us, the RBI has managed to keep a very strict control on the banks. Our NPAs, which were as high as 14% in 2012, and some of the banks had even 50% write-offs, like IDBI Bank, which LIC had to come in and buy out. Now the total NPAs are, the gross NPAs are down to 5%. So it's a very strong banking system today. Second, if you look at the prudential norms for India, those are very strong.
What's happened to the window,
comparison to what is happening in the US. And that is what is lending strength to this economy. We are not small. We are a $3.5 trillion economy. So when people write us off on small issues, they should keep that in mind. It's the fifth biggest economy. Yeah. And if you look at purchasing power-wise, we are already third biggest, because that dollar goes a long way in India in terms of purchasing power. And if in 5 to 7 years you will become the third biggest economy, your market will also be the third biggest.
Okay, so we have Gautam Baid. He's managing partner with Stella Wealth Partners India Fund. He's based in Atlanta in the United States. Gautam, how long will this last now, this domino effect? You know, has the whole American system been caught napping? I haven't got Gautam yet on that, so I'll take that to Sandeep Ghosh. Sandeep, this could have a domino effect, you know. This is a domino effect, and it'll be second or third time that the Americans have failed to even see the frailty of their own system.
And the problem with Americans is, they never practice what they preach. They will, preach to everybody in the world, don't do this, don't do that, don't intervene in market forces, and they themselves are at fault. And the pseudo-Americans like Mr. Raghuram Rajan, they go one step further. They lecture their own home country without because nobody will hear them in the where they are right now. If Raghuram Rajan wants to give an opinion to the American government, they are not even going to look at him sideways. Now the point is, I think what Kamru and others are making a mistake. If HDFC Bank valuation is going down, it is not going down because of RBI or Indian economy. If the Americans are not managing their economy right, and because of that you're having a cascading effect, you can't blame Shaktikanta Das. Now, when you're talking about an Adani, when Adani was made number 2, the second richest man in the world, he didn't make. It's the market valuation which made, and today he has come down, but his assets are intact. He's not a capital, he's not an SBB bank whose assets have disappeared. The airports, the cement plants, the solar unit, everything is there. So at the end of the day, it'll, like good water, the valuation will find its own mark. So
I'll only wrap up by saying one thing. I'm short of time. I just want to say one thing. Viewers, we should be a little circumspect about trashing our own system. The lesson that I take from all of this is that the Reserve Bank of India was actually very proactive. The US Fed was caught napping. RBI was proactively inspecting the books. It put Yes Bank under moratorium when it found serious governance issues. The US Feds know what is happening, they don't act, and now they're trying to put band-aid. Moral of the story, please look at the strength, the resilience, and the systems under which the Indian economic system is operating. Just don't go with a Western view to be fashionable. Moral of the story, we're tracking this very, very closely here on Republic. I'll see you tomorrow, 9 p.m. Good night and goodbye.